All right, let us begin. So this week 12 talks all about sequences and series, more specifically arithmetic sequences and series. Before we even go into that, what is a sequence? A sequence in general, what does that mean? A sequence means when you have, numbers in a specific order that follow each other, that is what a sequence is. So in this case, we have 1, 3, 5, 7. What does this mean? 1, 3, 5, 7, they are following a specific sequence. In this case, the sequence is when to go from 1 to 3, you're adding 2. And then you're going from 2 to 5, you're adding 2 again. And then when you're going from 5 to 7, you're adding 2. And so on and so on and so on. This is what they call an arithmetic sequence. Okay? So what does arithmetic sequence mean? It means that there is a difference between this number and this number that is equal to the same difference between this number and the number before. They call this the common difference. This is what determines a arithmetic sequence in general, right? So how do you find this common difference? This common difference is simply you subtract this number over here, the second number of your sequence, you subtract from it the first number. So in this case, you would do 3 minus 1. That would be your common difference, which is equal to 2. Same plus 2 over here. Same thing you'll do with the third number, which is 5 and 3. If you do 5 minus 3, it's also equal to 2. So now you can confirm that this is an arithmetic sequence with the common difference of 2. To clarify this a bit, we're going to go deep into it and it's going to be much more clear. This is just, the bread and butter, الزبدة مثل ما يقولون. The whole idea of an arithmetic sequence is that you will be given a sequence or the start of the sequence, a few numbers, and you will be able to instantly find any number within that sequence. And that's what we will go deep into today. So mainly, I don't want to confuse you guys too much. Mainly, all you need to know is this equation, which is an is equal to, all right, a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Now, an, this is what they call the nth term, which I will talk about a bit more in a bit. a1, this is your first term. N is just n, which is the location or location number, and I'll explain what I mean by that. And then d is the common difference that I explained earlier, common difference. Okay, so this is the most important equation you need to know for this entire week. It is an is equal to a1, which is the nth term, is equal to the first term of your sequence, plus the location of this nth term minus 1 multiplied by d, which is the common difference. So what does this mean exactly? Let's say we take that same easy, simple example. We have 1, 3, 5, and then it keeps going. Okay, so this is your sequence. So your nth term, for example, let's start with the first term, then we'll reach the nth term. So let's say the first term is simple. This is your first term. First term. This is your a1, which is equal to 1. All right, so this is the first term, meaning this is the first number or the first location in your sequence, the starting number of your sequence. That's what they call the first term. The common difference, as you know, you should calculate the common difference by subtracting this here and this here. So we're going to do 3 minus 1. The common difference is equal to 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. And it should also equal 5 minus 3, which is equal to 2. This is an important point over here. You have to make sure that the second term minus the first term is equal to the third term minus the second term for you to actually have an arithmetic sequence. If you do, like, for example, let's take an example here. If we have 1, 3, 7, okay, this sequence. Yes, if you do 3 minus 1, it's going to be equal to 2. But when you are doing 7 minus 3, this is equal to 4. So this is not an arithmetic sequence, not arithmetic. All right? So that is the whole point. So all you need to solve any arithmetic sequence is you need the first 3 digits, or the first 3 terms, I should say, and the common difference should be equal for each term, the difference between each term. And that's what determines an arithmetic sequence. All right? Now, for the same arithmetic sequence, 1, 3, 5. Okay? Let's say you want to know, so let's talk about the terms a little bit more. This, like I said, is your first term, A1. Logically, this is your second term. This will be your third term. What will be the fourth term? You will add plus 2, okay? And you will get your third term, which is 7. Or your fourth term, I mean, this, which is 7. So this is your A4. This is what they call the fourth term. So let's say you want a number that the location of it is very far along the line, and it is let's say 20, for example, okay? So obviously, if you want to do the long way, you just add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, but that takes a very long time to find and calculate. That is when you will use the equation that I explained earlier, which is an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. So first you need to determine in this case, your n. What is your n? In this case, we want to find our 20th term, the 20th location of the sequence. All right? So we have A20. This is what we need to find. What is A1? A1, we already know, is equal to 1. So we have 1 plus. What is our n? Our n is this, the 20 over here. This is the same n. So we have 20 minus 1 times the common difference. The common difference you need to find depending on the sequence that you have. So knowing that this is an arithmetic sequence and we know that the common difference is already plus 2 or 2, so we know that the d is simply 2. And now you can find instantly the 20th term that is supposed to be here by just solving this equation. So A20 is equal to 1 plus 20 minus 1, that's 19, times 2. So A20 is going to be equal to 1. 19 times 2, that's 38. If I'm not mistaken, yep, 38. So the 20th term is simply 39 without having to add every single digit. Okay? This is the whole concept of arithmetic sequences. You need to manage to find a specific number, all right, depending on what you are given, depending on the sequence that you are given. And you just substitute in the values that you have, the known values, and you solve for it. Now, sometimes they will give it to you in a different way. Like sometimes they will not give you the sequence directly. For example, they will tell you, let's say A1 is equal to, I don't know, 1. Let's stop using 1. Let's say A1 is equal to 5. All right. And then I tell you that the common difference is equal to 3. Okay. So I gave you only these two values. These two values are more than enough to find any location for your an. Let me show you how. So we know the equation is an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Let's substitute the values that we have. So we have a1, which we will substitute here, and we have the d, which we will substitute in here. So an is equal to 5 plus n minus 1 times 3. If this is too confusing for you, you can always rewrite it in this way. So 5 plus 3 times n minus 1. All right? It's the same exact thing. We can simplify this, okay, by distributing this 3 in here. So 5 plus 3 times n is just 3n. We have a minus, so minus 3 times 1 is just 3. Can further simplify this 5 and the minus 3. So 5 minus 3 is simply 2 plus 3n. All right? Or you can rewrite it as 3n plus 2. So this is your equation for your arithmetic sequence given by this initial these initial values that they gave you. يعني هذيل الأرقام A1 which is the first term and D which is equal to 3 the common difference. That's all you need to determine the equation for your arithmetic sequence. Okay? For example, now, if I want to tell you in this sequence with these given values, I want the 20th or the 50th number, okay? So I want the 50th term. The 50th term. What does that mean? The 50th term means this is our n. N is equal to 50. All you have to do is substitute 50 for the n here. So a 50 is going to be equal to 3 times 50 plus 2. All right? This is equal to 150 plus 2, which is equal to 152, and you found your A50. Obviously, I said the 50th term, you could look for the 100th term, you could find the millionth term, you can find any term as long as you have your first term and the common difference in an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Now, let me give you a different example. Let's say I have A1 is equal to 3. Common difference is equal to 6. Okay? And I tell you that AX, we don't know what this is, or AN, let's keep it as N so you don't get confused. AN is equal to, let's see, 6, 3, 9. Let's say it's 15. Okay, let's say it's 21 actually. Let's say it's 21. Okay, so let's say AN is equal to 21. And I tell you, what is this N? My question is, find the term, like find the location or term, the N basically. Find the N. You will use the exact same equation again. So AN is equal to A1 plus N minus 1 times D. AN is equal to, in this case, 21. So 21 is equal to, what is A1? A1 is 3 plus, we don't know what the N is. We need to solve for this N eventually. So we don't know what the N is. Minus 1. We know what the common difference is. 6. And now you have an equation where you need to solve for N. So you just start solving now. You only have one unknown, one equation, one unknown. You just start solving. So first we could take the 3 to the other side. So 21 minus 3 is equal to N minus 1 times 6. All right. So 21 minus 3, that's 18, is equal to 6 times N minus 1. We can simply just divide both sides here by 6. Okay, you can solve it anyways. If you want to distribute it first, that's up to you. So I'm just going to divide by 6 both sides so I can get rid of the 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, is equal to N minus 1. We take the 1 to the other side. 3 plus 1 is equal to N. Therefore, N is equal to 4. So what does that mean? That means that this 21 is the fourth term. And how can we find that out? So we know that A1 is 3. How can we just double check, I should say. So we know that A1 is equal to 3. A1 is equal to 3. The common difference is 6. So what is A2? We just add 6 plus 6. What is 3 plus 6? 9. So we have 3 and 9. Okay? So then again, we do 9 plus 6. This is our first term. This is A1. This is A2, A3, A4, which we will find now. All right. So again, 9 plus 6. What's 9 plus 6? 9 plus 6 is 15. So now again, 15 plus 6. What's 15 plus 6? 21. So this is our fourth term, but instead of doing it this way, the idea is to use the equation because I gave a simple fourth term. What if it was the 25th term or the 100th term? It will take too long to do it this way. But this is the whole concept of arithmetic sequences. Anyone has any questions? Because this is basically the entire course. This is the entire idea, the entire concept. If anything is not clear, please let me know from now before we move on to arithmetic series. All of this obviously can be solved using the calculator. You can use the equation or the calc or any other method you know. And I will explain how you use it on the calculator when we actually solve questions later on. But I just want you guys to understand just the concept of arithmetic sequences. Like the algebra, the algebra is just the algebra is just, you know, to understand how to do solving. You can do it in whichever way you'd like. In the last case, isn't 21 the n? No. 21 is not the n. 21 is an. It was given that 21 is an. We need to find the n. We don't know what the n is. Don't get confused. In a sequence, let's say we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, etc. This is n equal 1. This is n equal 2. This is n equal 3. This is n equal 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is the n. The n is basically the location. وين مكان الرقم في الsequence. Okay, where the number is located in the sequence. So this is the first term. The 3 is the first term. Over here, the 3 is our first term. أول رقم. So that's why the n is equal to 1. This is our second number in the sequence. Okay? Think of it this way. Think of it as if these are boxes. You don't know what's inside the boxes, okay? These are just boxes that have something inside them. So this is your first box. This is your second box. This is your third box. Fourth box. All right? That's what the n represents. This is what n is. an, this is the value at or in that box, you can say. In the box. Okay? So in this case, A1 is when n is equal to 1, is equal to 3. Okay? This is the actual value inside the box. A2 is equal to 6. This is the A value, the value we want, the exact value inside. These are the values. So n represents the location, the box, المكان, الرقم وين مكانه, where does it belong يعني in the sequence. Okay, not the actual value, مو الرقم نفسه, not the actual value of that number. A represents the value of the number based on the location given, based on where it is located inside the sequence. Okay, now let's take the same example here. 3, 6, 9, 12 again. 3, 6, 9. I don't need to give you more than the first three numbers. Always check the common difference first. So difference is equal to 6 minus 3, which is equal to 3. And then again, check the second two values, which is 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. So basically, the common difference is the difference between here and here. You'll take the second term and the first term, and then you'll take the third term and the second term. Okay? If they are equal, that means this is an arithmetic sequence, and we can move on. So now, what about arithmetic series? So we talked about the arithmetic sequence using that equation an. What about an arithmetic series? What does that mean? All this means is we want to add the sequence. That's all this means. Plus da 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 da. That is what arithmetic series is. And obviously it has its own equation as well, which is Sn. This is what they call the arithmetic series, Sn, which is the sum, n divided by 2, a1 plus an. Now, we know what the n means, okay? We know what a1 means. We know what an means, and we know how to find an using the equation we used up here, this equation, an, all right? So we have all of these values and we know how to determine them given a sequence. We find them and then we substitute in Sn. So what does Sn mean? Let's say the same exact example, 3 plus 6 plus 9. Let's say we want to add or more mathematically, find the arithmetic series, find the series up to the 10th term. When you see 10th term, this basically means this is your n. Okay, so now let's look at the series. We have 3 plus 6 plus 9. We know our a1 is equal to 3. We found out earlier our common difference is also equal to 3. Okay, so we know that this is an arithmetic series. So now we know our n is also equal to 10 based on the question. So we can find our an. How do we find it? We find it using the equation that we used earlier. So an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. In other words, a10 in this case, because we're looking at n equal 10, is equal to 3 plus 10 minus 1 times 3. All right? So a10 is equal to 3 plus 9 times 3. All right? A10 is going to be equal to 9 times 3. That's 30. All right? So we found our a10, or our an in this case, which is 10. So now we want to find the series. We just found the sequence. We found the location of the 10th term. Now we need to find the actual series, sum of series, or the arithmetic series, which is the sum of the numbers. So Sn, or S10 in our case, because we have n equal 10, is equal to n over 2, which is 10 over 2. Okay, n over 2, which is 10 over 2, times a1 plus an. What is our a1? Our a1 is 3, and our a10 is 30. And now you could just simplify this, put it in a calculator. This is 165 if I'm not wrong. Okay, and this is our S10. And this is an arithmetic series. Any questions about this? It's very straightforward. So all you need to understand is you have this equation to find the arithmetic series, which basically means it's the sum of the sequence numbers up to a specific term. What? You have the an, which is the arithmetic sequence of finding this equation over here, of finding which term specifically based on the location, what is the value of that term in any sequence. Can the common difference be a complex function? A complex function meaning using J, يعني, I don't know if you guys are taught complex functions. So let me elaborate about the common difference a bit more before we move on. Any sequence, okay? Let's say we have a sequence 5x, 7x, 10x. This is our sequence, okay? 10x, and it keeps going. Or let's say 9x actually. And it keeps going. Our D, we find it by, this is A1, right? This is A2, and this is A3. Our D, we find it by doing A2 minus A1, or in this case, 7x minus 5x, which is equal to 2x. This is the common difference. You have to keep the x with it. The only, don't overcomplicate anything. تشوفون الرقمين هني, just look at these two numbers here. Whatever the values are, just put them in an equation and subtract the 5x from the 7x. يعني do 7x minus 5x. And whatever the final answer is, that's your common difference. And then double check again with the third term and the second term. So you have to do it again with a3 minus a2, which is 9x minus 7x, which is also equal to 2x. So now you know that this is a arithmetic sequence. Okay? Just take the number, whatever value you have here, minus whatever value you have before it. And the same thing from the second and the first. And they have to be the same. The common difference can be any number here. It could be anything. As long as this one is the same as this one, it's fine. يعني, I don't think it's going to be this confusing in an exam, but let me do it anyways. Plus 1. This is 7x plus 2. And this is 9x plus 3. All right? This is your sequence. You will do the exact same concept again. You will do 7x plus 2 minus 5x plus 1. Okay? This is going to give you 2x plus 1. You will do the same thing again. 9x plus 3 minus 7x plus 2. This is the common difference I'm finding. Your answer is going to be 2x plus 1. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't get confused. Where's this number coming from? All you have to do is this minus this, and then you'll do the exact same thing again. This minus this. And they have to be equal. If they are equal, this is your common difference. Okay? That's it. Any questions about this, about SN, about common difference, about anything else? So I can move on to the sigma notation. Okay, let's move on to the sigma notation. Obviously, this will get more clear when we solve questions. This is just the concepts, the idea of the sequences. Let's move on to something called the summation notation or the sigma notation. You will not get any geometric sequences based on the rubric or based on the information given. You're only doing arithmetic sequences. But just for your information, just if you want to know. So we said arithmetic, you have to add. For example, 1 plus 2, it will give 3, plus 2, it will give 5. This is your sequence. Geometric, you have to multiply. You don't need to know about this, okay? You don't need to know about this, but just so you have an idea. So for example, 1 times 2, that's 2, times 2, that's 4, times 2, that's 8. This is what the geometric sequence is. You don't have this in the exam just because someone asked. I wanted to answer this question. Okay? You will not have a geometric sequence in the exam. You need to only focus on the arithmetic sequences, which is adding. Okay? Let's move on to the sigma notation. So I'm pretty sure all of you have seen this, and when you see it, you start, tearing your hair apart, starting to cry, whatever you do. It is very simple when you see this notation, okay? Do not get scared or what is this or شو هالأحرف الغريبة والجديدة. It's fine. First thing you need to know, this is called sigma or capital sigma. It is a Greek letter. If you're going into engineering, you're going to be dealing with a lot of Greek letters in mathematics and solving and stuff. So this is one of them. They call this notation sigma, okay? Or capital sigma. Now, what does this mean? All this means is this is summation. All this means is there's basically saying add. يعني do plus. That's all this means. But it has a few rules to understand what you're adding with each other. So let's take an example. First thing in a sigma notation, you're going to have, usually you would see something like I is equal to 1 at the bottom. And then you will see a number like 4 or something up here. And then you will have an equation here, let's say, for example, 3i. Okay, for example. What does all of this mean? Let's go step by step. So first, this means this is the start, the beginning. This means this is the finish. Okay, very simple. Very simple. Okay, think about it that you are going from the bottom to the top. Okay, this is your start, this is your finish. Tamam? And this is your function, your question, your function, your sequence, if you want to call it, this is your sequence. Okay? All you have to do, this is going to be equal to, let's start with actually writing the sequence. So what is the sequence? It's 3i. But instead of I, I'm going to write the start of I. So I starts from what? I starts from 1. So it's going to be 3 times 1. You are basically substituting the starting number for your starting value. Okay? So 3, 1. 3 times 1 basically. الحين خلصنا من هالequation. We're going to rewrite it again. But with what? What did I say this big sigma means? It means plus. So you have to add a plus. And then you're going to write 3 again. I. What is our I now after 1? What's the number that comes after 1? 2. And you will go on again. Plus 3. Plus, because we're sigma. I. What is our I after 2? It's 3. Plus 3i again, which is 4. And we stop. Because what is our finishing number? It is 4. So this is what start to finish means. So basically, I equal 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we stop. This is what this represents. The I at the bottom represents the start. The 4 at the top represents the finish. And 3 times I, this I over here represents the I over here represents the I that the values you will be substituting for in your calculation. And that's it. This is your final answer. You could just simply do this is equal to 3 times 1 is 3, plus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 times 3 is 9, plus 3 times 4 is 12. What does this all mean? This is your A1, this is your A2, this is your A3, this is your A4. And that's it. This is what this all means. This is just a different way of finding the summation. In this case, we were lucky because the sequence we got was an arithmetic sequence. This is not always the case. We don't necessarily always have an arithmetic sequence here. In this case, if you check what is the rule for a sequence to be an arithmetic sequence, we find the common difference. So A2 minus A1 is equal to 6, is equal to 6 minus 3, which is 3. And then we do A3 minus A2, which is equal to 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Before I move on, any questions about the sigma notation? Anything not clear about what I did here? We'll do a bit more examples so you get the general idea, but this is the whole concept. I will just recap very quickly. You will be given the starting point, the finishing point, the value for the start and the value for the finish, and you will be given a sequence. All you have to do is write the sequence, and for I or N or X, whatever they want to give you the variable, you will substitute the value 1. The starting value in this case is 1, and you will keep adding plus 1, plus 1, plus 1 until you reach the final finishing value. Does this make sense? Obviously, you can do this all in the calculator. I'm just explaining the theory so you understand what this means exactly. There is in your calculators, I believe, next to the log, if you do shift log, the top right under on, you can simply put in all these numbers. It will give you like x equal, you put the value, and then you just put 3x, and then it will solve it for you. But I want you guys to understand the concept. I want you guys to understand that this sequence, it transforms into, you can find out whether it's an arithmetic sequence or not by simplifying. This is basically what? This is basically saying this is Sn of the sequence. In this case, it's S4 of this sequence, where A1 is equal to 3, and the common difference is also equal to 3. This is the exact same thing as we did earlier up here, where we did the Sn, the equation, n over 2 a1 plus an. But this is just a different notation. Keep in mind, this is only for an arithmetic sequence. Sigma can be for any sequences. Any type of sequence given, you can use sigma for it. But in the case of an arithmetic sequence, you can use the Sn and the an equations to solve. Any questions? Okay, is it clear for everyone? I want to know, are you guys understanding the concepts I'm saying? Is this يعني واضح? You guys think it's easy, hard, confusing? All right, tamam. So let me give you one more example of using sigma. Let's say we have sigma, let's call it x, for example, okay, is equal to, I don't know, 2, and it goes all the way up to 7. Let's make it a small number, let's say 5, so we don't have too many values. And then I will give you something like 3x squared, okay? Now, can someone tell me what we should do in the first term? I want to see if you guys understand this. So what will be the value, or what would be, what will be our first term? Like, how do I write it down? I want to make sure that you guys are understanding this concept and have a general idea of how to do this. Even though I know you can use your calculator to solve it completely, but I want you guys to understand that you have a first term, second term, third term, and this is a sequence. شباب قلنا يمعة بس يعني shouldn't be asleep يعني this much. All right? لا. It's not 2 times 1, 2 plus 2. Yeah. Thank you. It is going to be 3. So you're going to write the constant value 3 times the starting value of x, which is 2 squared. This is your first term. Plus, you will do the exact same thing again. Squared. What is the value after 2? We finished with 2. We go to 3. We go to 4. Then we go to 5. So we finished with 2. All right. This is 2. And this is 3. We finished with 3. Plus 3 into, what is the next term? 4. We put the 4. Plus 5. That's our last number. And we stop there. 3 into 5 squared. And that's it. Now, if we solve this or simplify this, 2 squared is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 squared is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 4 squared is 16. 3 times 16 is 64. Is it 64? No, it's 3 times 16 is 48. Yeah. And then 5 squared is 25. 3 times 25 is 75. Now notice something here. This is our A1. This is our A2. This is our A3. This is our A4. Is this an arithmetic sequence? Is this an arithmetic sequence? Let's check. What is the common difference? A2 minus A1. It's 27 minus 12, which is equal to 15. Yeah, 15. Let's do it again. 48 minus 27, which is basically A3 minus A2. 48 minus 27 is 21. This is not an arithmetic sequence. It's not an arithmetic sequence. It is a sequence. Yes, this is a sequence, but not an arithmetic one. So you cannot use SN. You cannot use the AN formulas that you learned for arithmetic sequences and series. Okay? This is the whole idea. Any questions? Can we start solving actual questions now, like the worksheet questions? Okay. Let's go into the worksheet questions. I'm pretty sure the worksheet questions are very easy. Oh, okay. So the final answer in this case, the final answer, here you're just going to add all of these. So you're going to put all of this in a calculator. 12 plus 27 plus 48 plus 75. It's equal to 162. This is your final answer. That's it. In summation, you're just adding all the numbers. Yani even here up here, you're going to do 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12, and it's going to give you a value, and that's your final answer. All right? I am just trying to explain the concept of like the terms and the sequences and all of that. But you could just simply plug, if you just want to find the final answer, use this in a calculator and it will give it to you finally completely. Now, let's go into some questions, the worksheet. So we have this. Very simple, very straightforward. Now keep in mind, I keep forgetting to cover this, but an arithmetic sequence, the common difference can be positive, it can be negative, it can have a variable, it can be anything. All you have to do is follow the rule, okay? So find the next four terms, okay, of each sequence, write the equation for the nth term and the 70th term. So we have to write the nth term equation and the 70th term equation. Let's start step by step. So find the next four terms. So we have here A1, A2, A3, A4. We need to find A5, A6, A7, A8. Okay? First step, we know that our A1 is 35. Second step, what is our common difference? It is equal to 32 minus 35, which is equal to minus 3. Keep in mind, this is negative because the sequence, it's يعني decreasing, not increasing. Okay? We double check if the sequence is correct. We take these two values, for example, A3 and A2, 29 minus 32. It is also minus 3. So yes, this is an arithmetic sequence, okay? We know that. So we can apply all the equations we use for an arithmetic sequence. So we have our common difference, we have our A1, we can find any of these values. Now, so A5 is going to be equal to something, A6 is going to be equal to something, A7 is going to be equal to something, and A8 is going to be equal to something. You can simply go, because they're the four next numbers, you can do 26 minus 3, okay? Because what do? You have to just, this is minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, and you'll get the next number, minus 3, and you'll get the next number, minus 3, and so on and so forth. So 26 is A4, minus 3, this is equal to 23. This is your A5. 23 minus the common difference, this is our common difference D, it's equal to 20. 20 minus 3, it's equal to 17. 17 minus 3, it's equal to 14. And these are the next four digits. So after 35, 32, 29, 26, it's going to be 23, 20, 17, and 14. Okay, very straightforward, very simple. I'm pretty sure none of you are confused by this. But I want to focus more on write the equation for the nth term. What does this mean? We have to use the equation an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. We again, to remind you, our a1 is 35, and our d is equal to 3, or minus 3. Keep in mind, you have to keep the unit depending on your sequence. So an is equal to 35 plus n minus 1 times, what's d, minus 3. Okay? This is where you need to do algebra. This is where you can't just plug it into a calculator to solve it for you. So make sure you know how to do your basic, very simple algebra. So this is basically saying 35 minus 3 into n minus 1. Just to clarify how I did this, this minus 3, I took it to the other side. So this is basically 35, okay? And this minus 3 over here, I just took it and put it beforehand. So I put the minus 3 over here, okay? And then I just put whatever's in the brackets n minus 1, okay? It's the same thing. It's the same as saying plus minus 3, because plus times minus is minus, and then minus 3. Okay, so don't get too confused by this. Now, 35 minus 3 and minus 1, we simplify by distributing. So 35 minus 3 times n, that's minus 3n. Minus 3 times minus 1, so minus times minus, that's plus. 3 times 1 is 3. Practice your algebra. Make sure you understand your algebra. So this is our an. An is equal to 35 plus 3, that's 38, minus 3n. Okay? Any questions so far about how I found this equation? Any questions about the algebra, which you should already know? Okay. So this is the equation for the nth term and the 70th term. What is the 70th term? The 70th term basically means n is equal to 70. All right? So A70 is equal to 38 minus 3 times 70, and you're done. And you just put this in the calculator. 38 minus 3 times 70 is equal to minus 172. This is your A70. Very straightforward. So see, when you get this equation and simplify it, the an, the nth term equation, you can find the value for any term very quickly by just plugging. Okay? Any questions? I want to do the second one, but I want to teach you guys how to do it very quickly on the calculator. It is similar to what we did, if you remember, for the midterm, for graphing using the table function. And I want to explain how. So the question again is asking to find the four terms, you know, the fourth term and the nth term and the 70th term. First step, my recommendation always, first step, find your A1. So first, A1 and your common difference. That's the first step you should always do. Find your first term and common difference. What's your first term here? So A1 is equal to 6. Your common difference is equal to I'm waiting for an answer from you guys. Everyone is saying 12, but 12 is not the answer. Do you want to know why it's not the answer? This is not an arithmetic sequence. Exactly. We have to, okay, I know what you guys did. You guys did 18 minus 6 is equal to 12. But then when you do 54 minus 18, this is equal to 36. This is not an arithmetic sequence. I believe this is a geometric sequence, if I'm not mistaken, because 6 times 3 is 18, times 3 is 54. All right? I don't know why you have this, because in the rubric, it doesn't say you have geometric sequences in general. But just in case, let's solve one. So you get the idea. So how do you know if it's a geometric sequence or not? Instead of subtracting, you divide. So you do 18 divided by 6, which is equal to 3. And then you do 54 divided by 18, which is also, I think, equal to 3 if I'm not wrong. Yep. So you know that this is a geometric sequence. Okay. Again, I'm not sure why they give you this question because I believe you don't have geometric sequences in the exam. So I don't want you guys to get too confused. I'm going to solve this very quickly and we'll move on to remaining arithmetic sequences. So the geometric sequence is 3. You don't have the equation for geometric sequences, but this is going to be basically like 3 times I. يعني بما معنى. All right. Let's actually just move on to another arithmetic question because I don't want you guys to get confused. I believe geometric sequences are not coming in your exam as per your rubric and as per your instructions. But see, this is a good example of knowing that, yani, of not trying to solve this and as an arithmetic. If you do get this in the exam, I would recommend you do it manually for the next 4 terms. Because I believe if they would bring any other sequences, they would tell you to do it like find the next term. So in this case, you'll just multiply 54 times 3 and you'll find the next term. Okay? Now, let's go back to algebraic. I don't think they will bring geometric sequences, but let's go back to arithmetic sequences again. So this question says, given the explicit formula, so here they're giving you the formula an. All right, they're giving you exactly the formula an. Find the first 5 terms and the named term in the problem. So what does this mean? The first 5 terms means A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. First 5 terms. All right. أول 5 أرقام. أول first five n values, which is 1 to 5. And the named term. What do they mean by the named term? Basically, the given term over here, the A23. Okay. Now, here you don't have to do any manual calculations. You can do it all in your calculator. Everyone, get your calculators out so you can learn how to do this quickly in the calculator in one step, and you will get all your values. All right. So first, you hit mode 7, which will take you to the table. All right. Mode 7, which will take you to the table. You will get an f of x function equal. This is what you will see. And then you will put in the equation. So your equation will go here. So you will write 11 over 8 plus 1 over 2 brackets brackets into x minus 1. You will replace the n with x. Okay, this is how you can do it in the calculator very quickly. So let me do that as well. 11 over 8 plus 1 over 2 x is alpha close brackets. That's where the x is and on the calculator minus 1. All right. Then you will click then equal. Just click on equal. It will tell you start. Start. You will put 1. Okay. and you will hit then again equal. You should put 1. You will always put 1. Then end. You will put your n, whatever your value of n in the question is. So in this case, what is our n? It's 5. Basically, the last number you want to find. So what are we saying here? We want from 1 all the way up to, in this case, 5. All right? Then you will hit the equal. I think in default, it's always giving 5. Yeah. So you'll hit equal again. Then it will say step. Step is always going to be 1 in an arithmetic sequence as well. All right. What does step mean? Step means going from 1 to 5. If you put 1, that means it's going to do plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, meaning it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what the step means. Like from here to here. What do you want me to do? You want to add 1? That's what the step means. You will add 1 again up to 5. All right. That's all that this step means. You don't need to, all you need to know is you should keep it as 1. Then you will hit equal and you will get a table. Then equal. And you will get a table in this form where you have your x here and you have f of x here. What does this mean? This is your n. And this is your an. So let's say this is 1. It gives me 1.375. Okay? This is equal to a1. And this is equal to n equal 1. Same thing with the next one. N equal 2. This is 1.875. Which is equal to a2. And so on and so forth. All the way to a5. Now, if you want to see it as a fraction, not as a decimal, with the arrow keys on your calculator, you will move on to f of x, to the value you want to look at. For example, let's look at a1. You will go and highlight a1, and you will hit the SD button. It will show you 11, a small bracket, and then 8. So it will show you something like this. 11, bracket, 8. This means this is 11 over 8. That's all this means. All right? This means that this is 11 divided by 8. And you will see all of them in that form if you want it in fraction. Is this clear? Everyone knows how to find this in the calculator. So you can do this for any arithmetic sequence given your an equation. That's it. All right? So given your an equation, you could just, if you find it yourself, you find your an equation, you can do it that way. All right? I'll do it again with the first example we solved, which was here. Okay? So we found our an equation earlier to be 38 minus 3n. Okay? So let's put that in the calculator. 38, again, I will start from the very beginning. You will hit mode 7 to go to table. You will write in the equation, in this case, 38 minus 3x, which is 3n. Okay? You will hit equal. You will start from 1, and we want the fourth next term. So we want up to a8. So the start will be from a1 all the way to a8. Okay? And then the step, you will have it as 1 and you'll hit equal. You will notice your f of x is 35. The a1 is 35, a2 is 32, a3 is 29, a4 is 26, a5 is 23, a6 is 20, a7 is 17, and a8 is 14. Clear? Iman, is it clear? Did you understand the steps? Okay. So this is the technique I would recommend you use in the exam because you're limited on time. If they're telling you to find like the first 5 terms or whatever. But keep in mind, in this question, for example, the one up here, you still have to do the nth term equation by yourself. You have to, this is so critical, guys. You have to manage to solve this equation. All right? You have to make sure that you know how to substitute a1 and d and how to solve it in a way that you have an equation an is equal to something minus 3n or something plus 3n or something times n or whatever. You have to manage to find this equation. Without this, you will not be able to solve anything. How we see until 8? Again, when you go, you will put your end, your start will always be 1, and your end will be 8. Instead of 5, your end, you will put 8 in this case. Okay? So the start is where you're starting from, your A1, okay? And then your end will be your A8, which is 8 in this case. That's the final answer. The question was giving, what was the question asking? Find the first 5 terms and the name termed in the problem. So the first 5 terms, this technique was for the first 5 terms. For A23, you could just put it to the calculator and solve for it. It's just one number, so you don't need to do a table. Answer of 2A is 12.375. Yeah, we did not finish 2A yet. I'll show you. Okay? Now. So yeah. This was this technique again. This is just to find the sequence. Like if they say find the first 5 terms, the next 5 terms, يعني عندكم وايد أرقام, you have a lot of numbers. Instead of just calculating them one by one, you can put them in a sequence and solve if you want. If you feel like that's faster for you. Okay? Now, we didn't finish the question. They want us to find the name term A23. What does this mean? All you have to do is substitute 23n is equal to 23, and you will substitute this into the equation and solve. So in the calculator, you'll just write 11 over 8 plus half. So A23 is equal to 11 over 8 plus half into 23 minus 1 and solve. And that's it. Done. So 11 over 8 plus half times 23 minus 1, and you're done. So the answer is 12.375, or in fraction form, it's 99 over 8. Okay? That's it. It's very simple. It's all you have to do is substitution. Again, I want to repeat this because this is very important. What you guys need to understand very well is to how to reach this equation given a sequence. Okay? If you know how to reach this given a sequence, you can solve any type of question, whatever is given to you guys. And make sure you know that it is an arithmetic sequence. All right? Let's see what else we have. So we have the same exact thing here. Now, again, this I'm going to tell you from now, this is not an arithmetic sequence. Okay? This is not an arithmetic sequence over here. So you can still use the steps for the calculator to instantly find the numbers, and then A18, you can solve it by itself. No, for 23, you don't use mode. You just type it out normally. Just solve it like in a normal calculator. And basically for the 23, you're going to just put this equation in a calculator. No need to use mode. Okay? You could use it in table, but there's no point in it. In the table, if you use it, you're going to put start 23 and 23, and you can find it as well if you want. Okay? Now, I want you guys to do this instead. I want you guys to put this in the calculator and solve and give me the first 5 terms. I want A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. Okay? Use the steps I did in the calculator. Mode 7, put the equation in, put your start, your finish. Of course, instead of n, you will put x in the calculator. Your start will always be 1. Your end will be the end n number, in this case 5. And the step will always be 1. Hassan, it's exactly the same thing. For the question you gave me, you just put it in a calculator and just put the numbers. So you're going to put the equation 8 plus 13n, and you will solve. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. In the calculator, you'll put 8 plus 13 in the table, and then you will put your A1, your start is 1, and your end is 5. Come on, guys. I want you guys to actually solve this and give me the values from A1 all the way to A5. They're very easy. Yeah, Hassan, you can put it in mode 7. So you put the equation in mode 7. So 1, 3, 9, 27, 81. Okay. That's right. So 1, 3, 5, 135, 139, sorry. Okay, 27 and 81. And that's it. You found your first 5 terms. It gives error. Make sure when you're putting the power, you're putting power x. يعني, so the equation is 3 to the power of. So in the calculator, you're going to be writing 3. Okay, x minus 1, like this. It's very easy. It's so easy. This sequences, it's very easy. I'm telling you. Logarithmics, exponents as well are super easy, by the way. It's just people get scared from it. But honestly, tomorrow when I explain it, you'll see that it is super, super straightforward. Noor, did you try solving it again? Make sure you're following the steps. Again, for everyone, the steps. Mode 7. Put your fx, your equation in fx, then hit equal. Put your start as 1, always. Your end will be, in this case, the 5th term, so you'll put 5. Step will be 1, you hit equal, and it should solve. All right? There's nothing that, يعني, it should not give error unless you did something, يعني, بالغلط or something wrong. So A18, if you substitute just 18 and n over here, it's going to be basically 318 minus 1. So that's 3 to the power of 17. You could just put that directly in the calculator and it will give a huge number, 129140163. I think this is what I got. I'm not sure if this is right. Is it? Yep, it is. So 129,140,163. Okay. Let's see what issues you guys have. I want to make sure everyone understands what's going on. Okay, no. Noor, you're getting error again. You're going to, let's do it step by step. So mode 7, you're going to get f of x. You're going to hit 3. Then you're going to hit the power, x power, which is this one, a box over here. Okay? X power. Then you're going to do alpha bracket. Okay, this button, the closing bracket. Alpha, closing bracket. Then you're going to do, click on minus. Then you're going to do 1. Then you're going to hit the equal sign. Okay? Now you're going to get start. So this is first thing. Start. You're just going to hit equal. Make sure if it's 1, you're just going to hit equal. If 1, you're just going to hit equal. And if 5, or just you could put 5, okay, then you're going to hit equal. Step, you're just going to hit equal. It's always going to be 1 by default. Just hit equal. And then your answer should appear. Iman, what answer did you get for which one? Which answer is different, for A18 or all of them? Again, guys, you need to make sure you're doing the steps correctly. Don't get too confused. 3 terms for you. Make sure this is your start and finish. If your start is 1 and your finish is 5, it will give you 5 terms. It depends on where your start is and where your end is. And your step should be 1. Your step should be 1. If your step is not 1, it's going to be a mistake. So make sure start is 1, end is 5, and the step is 1. I want everyone to understand this because this is what you're most probably going to use mostly in the exam. Scroll down. You can scroll down. And you hit the down key and you should be seeing more. It's correct, Iman. You did it correctly. Just hit the down arrow key so you can see the rest of the table. Okay. Noor, did it work for you? Okay, Noor, after the session is done, I will double check with you regarding this. It could also be the calculator type, but I will double check with you, Noor, after I complete like the session. Okay. Let's move on so we can solve more questions, as many questions as we can. The down arrow key, you're gonna press. So where's the calculator? Okay, you're gonna hit this key over here. Okay, and it will go down, down, down until it will show you the values. The bottom key here. Okay, this key, and you will see it now. Let's move on to the next question. Given the first term and the common difference of an arithmetic sequence, find the first 5 terms and the nth term. Super easy. You have A1, you have D, you can find anything you want. So A1, let's first step, since we're given A1, let's find the AN equation. So what is AN equation? It's A1 plus N minus 1 D. So AN is equal to 28 plus N minus 1 times 10. It's equal to 28 plus 10N minus 10. It's equal to, I'm just distributing quickly, you know, I'm pretty sure you all know the math, 18 plus 10N. All right? Does everyone know how I reached this value? Everyone understands here? Okay. Yes. Good. That's it. That's it. That's it. You're done. خلاص. Given the first term, the common difference, find an arithmetic sequence Find the first 5 terms. What do? Put it in the calculator. You can do the steps. Or if you want to do it manually, you can do it manually. If the calculator is too confusing, I'll just do it once so you guys understand. 18 plus 10 times 1. A2 is equal to 18 plus 10 times 2. A3 is equal to 18 plus 10 times 3. And we're going to go all the way up. It said the first 5 terms. So this is A1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nth term, we already found it. We calculated it. This is the nth term. Okay, the AN, when we have an equation in AN, this is the nth term, basically. Okay, A4 is equal to 18 plus 10 times 4. A5 is equal to 18 plus 10 times 5. And that's it. We're done. Okay, so this is equal to 28. This is equal to 38. This is equal to 48, 58, and 68. That's it. And we have our arithmetic sequence, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68. Super easy, right? Super easy. Same exact thing here again, but it's just minuses. Exactly the same thing. A1 is minus 53, so let's write our AN equations. A1 plus N minus 1 times D. Everyone should have memorized this equation by now. AN is equal to minus 53. Do not forget your units, your signs. N minus 1 times minus 1.1. This is equal to minus 53 minus 1.1 times N minus 1. Okay? If this is too confusing for you, you can rewrite it in a much easier way. Just write plus minus 1.1 times N minus 1. So this is equal to minus 53 plus, what's minus 1.1 times N? Minus and plus, so this is minus 1.1 N. All right? Minus 1.1 times minus 1. Minus and minus becomes plus. 1.1 times 1 is 1.1. Done. This is equal to minus 53 Plus and minus, that's minus 1.1n. Plus and plus, that's plus 1.1. This is equal to minus 53 plus 1.1. Minus 53 plus 1.1 is equal to minus 51.9 minus 11.n. And this is our an equation. All right. Again, first five terms and the nth term. We found the nth term. First five terms mean A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. All right. Using the calculator, mode 7. What is our equation? Minus 51.9 minus 11. Sorry, this is minus 1.1, not 11. Minus 1.1 times x equal starting at 1, ending at 5. Step is 1. So it's A1 is minus 53, which we already knew. A2 is minus 54.1. A3 is minus 55.2. A4 is minus 56.3. And A5 is minus 57.4. All right? Is this clear? Moving on. Find the sum. Okay. Find the sum. What does sum mean? Sum mean arithmetic series. So we are going to use, when you see sum or arithmetic series, you instantly, or you see plus, you know it has to do with Sn. Remember the equation of Sn? It's equal to n over 2, a1 plus an. Okay? One second. I just noticed in the solutions for number 4, there's a mistake because their A1 value there is minus 12.5, but the A1 value given in the question is minus 53. So be careful. The solution answer key for question 4 of student worksheet 1, there's a mistake. How is A2 minus 54.1? I mean, we put it in the equation if you want to do it manually. A2 is equal to, this is our equation, right? Minus 51.9. Okay, minus 1.1n. Minus 1.1n. What's our n? 2. This is minus 51.9 minus 2.2. If you put this in a calculator, minus 51.9 minus 2.2 is equal to minus 54.1. That's how. I use the table method. I use the table method to solve this. Okay. Moving on. So Sn is equal to n over 2, a1 plus an. Find the sum of an arithmetic series. You need to understand how to read the question. First of all, what did I tell you need to know? You need to know A1. Find A1. First step is always finding A1 and the common difference. This is our A1. A1 is equal to 20. Common difference is equal to 25 minus 20, which is 5. Let's double check that this is an actual arithmetic sequence. 30 minus 25 is also equal to 5. Yes, it is. So we found our D is equal to 5. Okay. The an value, we don't have the n. We don't have the n, but we have the value of an. We know that an is equal to how much? 175. All right. So what do we need to do? We need to find n to solve. So we're going to use the old equation that we learned. An is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. We have an is 175. We have a1, it's 20. Plus, we don't have n, we need to solve for it. Plus times d, which is 5. 175 we're just going to take the 20 to the other side. Minus 20 is equal to 5 into n minus 1. Okay? 155 minus 20 is 155 is equal to 5 into n minus 1. We divide both sides by 5 to cancel the 5. 155 divided by 5 is 31, I believe. Yes, 31 is equal to n minus 1. N, we take the minus 1 to the other side. It's 31 plus 1. N is equal to 32. That's it. And we found our n. So n is equal to 32. We have our n. We have our a1. We have our an. We can find the arithmetic series, the sum. So Sn is equal to, what is our n? 32 divided by 2 into times a1. What is our a1? Our a1 is 20. Our an is 175. So 20 plus 175. Put this all in the calculator. Sn is equal to 32 divided by 2 times 20 plus 175. 3,120. Done. We found our Sn. Easy, straightforward. Same thing. In this case, they gave us the 20. They gave us, okay, first step always. What is A1? A1 is equal to 20. What is the common difference? 27 minus 20, which is equal to 7. Let's double check. 34 minus 27, which is equal to also 7. Yes, this is an arithmetic sequence. So we can use Sn is equal to n over 2 times A1 plus An. We can use this. Okay? Now, we have A1. They gave us n at 16. So we have n equals 16. But we do not have an. So we need to solve for an. An is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. An is equal to, or a16 in this case, because we know that n is equal to 16. So a16 is equal to a1 is 20 plus n minus 1, 16 minus 1 times the d, which is the common difference, 7. Put all of this in a calculator, so it's 20 plus 15 times 7. A16 is equal to 125. Okay, and now we found our A16. This is not our final answer. We need to find Sn. Sn is equal to n, which is 16 over 2, times A1, which is 20 plus 125. Put all of this in a calculator. Sn is going to be equal to 16 divided by 2 times 20 plus 125. 1160. Done. Divided by 2 because that's the equation. The equation is n over 2a1 plus an. That is the equation. All right, you have to memorize this equation. I'm pretty sure they're not going to give it to you in the exam. Sn is n over 2a1 plus an. An is a1 plus n minus 1 times d. These two equations you have to know by heart. Khalas. You have to know it. Okay? Don't worry, everything is recorded and will be on YouTube when the session is done. Any questions so far about anything I have done? Because all the remaining concepts are exactly the same. So I'm just gonna go over these just يعني شفويا مثل ما يقولون. I'm just gonna go over these very quickly. If there is one that is difficult, we'll look at. What is the common difference of the arithmetic series 4, 7, 10, and 13? You know how to find common difference? Give me the answer right now. What is the common difference here? For 4, 7, 10, 13, what is the common difference? 3. There you go. Find the 11th term of the series. You're going to do the same thing I said earlier. You're going to find A1. What is our A1 in this? And what is our common difference? I want to know what is A1 and what is the common difference of number 2. Come on. يلا اشتغلوا شوي. سريع. Remember that you're going to be fast in the exam. You're going to have a lot of load, a lot of questions. You're going to have to know these very quickly. Instantly, you should look at it and you know. 2 and 5. There you go. What is the difference between the 4th and the 7th term of the series? Okay, let's actually solve this question so you guys understand how to do this. Let's actually just open a new page. What about, for example, x plus 2, x plus 5? Hassan, I need you to be a bit more specific. I'm not sure what you mean. يعني قصدك the actual sequence is like this, like x plus 2, x plus 5. This is the sequence? It's fine. Well, what's wrong with it? So you have x plus 7 after this, x plus 9. Because if you want to find the common difference, d is equal to x plus 5 minus x plus 2. Okay? This is equal to, let's do it step by step. So x plus 5 minus x minus 2. X minus x will cancel. So you'll be left with 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. So the common difference is 3. Let's double check if this is correct. X plus 7 minus x plus 5. Okay, x plus 7, the third term, minus x plus 5. This is equal to, again, x plus 7 minus x minus 5. Just distributing the minus, that's all I'm doing. X plus x and minus x cancel. 7 minus 5. This is equal to 2. This is not an arithmetic sequence, so this is wrong. I cannot solve it. Let's make it an arithmetic sequence and let's put 8 instead. Okay? Let's put 8 instead here. If we have 8 here, this will become an arithmetic sequence. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. So this is an arithmetic sequence. What is our A1? A1 is equal to x plus 2. What is our common difference? Our common difference is 3. Okay? We want to find our AN equation. AN is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times d. We substitute everything. AN is equal to A1 is x plus 2 plus n minus 1 times the common difference in this case is 3. AN is equal to x plus 2 plus 3n. I'm just distributing the 3 minus 3. If I simplify this, AN is equal to 3n plus x minus 1. And that's it. Plus 2 minus 3 is minus 1. And that's it. That's your equation. You don't have to worry about the x. You don't have to solve for x or anything. Keep it as x. What you need to focus on is the n. This is what matters. Now, if I tell you in this sequence, okay, give me the fifth term. The fifth term. N is equal to 5. That's what the fifth term means. So A5 will be equal to 3 times 5 plus x minus 1. Leave the x as it is. Don't have to solve anything. So 15 plus x minus 1. This is what A5 is. Simplify it. We will get x plus 14. And this is our fifth term. And done. Very straightforward. Don't worry about the variables given. الشيء الوحيد you guys need to focus on is the n. That is the only important variable. These variables, consider them as if they're constants. يعني it doesn't matter what they represent. مو مهم شو هو يكون. Just make sure you are solving for n. You are focusing on the n in the equations. All right? Now, let's solve this question. Number 3. What is the difference? This is from the tutor worksheet 3. Okay? What is the difference between the 4th and 7th term of the series? First of all, let's find the 4th and 7th term. Yalla, I want you guys to answer. What is A1? What is the first term equal to? What is the first term equal to? Yalla, it's very easy. Quick, yeah. What is the common difference? Common difference, yalla. Very straightforward. Yes, 5. Easy. Okay? Now we have to write the equation. an is equal to d, a1, sorry, minus plus n minus 1 times d. 5 plus n minus 1 times 5. Simplify it more, it's 5 plus 5n minus 5. an is simply equal to 5n because the 5 and the minus 5 will cancel. We have our equation, okay? See, I'm not even looking at the sequence, even though technically this is our A4, you know, because this is 1, 2, 3, this is A4, but I don't have my seventh term. You could just add 5, add 5, add 5, but I want you guys to practice and practice. I want you guys to understand how to solve this, because if it was, let's say, the 20th term and the 17th term, you won't have time to add all of these numbers, okay? So this is the way you should do it. We found our an. an is equal to 5n. So a4 is going to be equal to 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. A7 is equal to 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is equal to 35. What does the question ask? What is the difference between these two numbers? What's 35 minus 20, basically? What's A7 minus A4? All right? Simple, right? Let's go to the next one. The first term of the series is 8 and the common difference is 7. Find the first 5 terms. You know exactly how to do this. Moving on to the next one. Find the next 3 terms of the series. You know exactly. Okay, this series. What is the A1? What is your first term and what is your common difference? سريع 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 يلا. First term, common difference. Quick, 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 quick. Question 5. First term and common difference. Come on. There you go. 7 and 10. Very simple. Now you know how to solve. You find your an, you find your equation, done. What is the sum of the first 10 terms of the series? Okay. Sum is Sn. I already solved 2 examples. I'm pretty sure it's clear for everyone. But again, what is the first term and what is the common difference? Yalla. First term, common difference of question 6. What is first term and common difference? أباكم تصدعون من كثر ما تسمعون. First term and common difference. I want it to be stuck in your head. First term, common difference. 7 and 3. Is that correct? Can someone confirm? 7 and 4. 7 and 4. Exactly. 7 and 4. And then you know how to solve it. Do you want me to solve the sum or do you guys are confident with it? If anyone wants me to solve it, if I see one yes, I will solve it. It's fine. We have time. So tell me. Let's solve it. So as you guys already said, A1 is equal to 7. The common difference is equal to 4. Simple. What is our n? Our n is equal to 10. It's given. So n is equal to 10. The first 10 terms, we need to find the sum. Sum means we're going to use Sn. N over 2, A1 plus An. We have our n. We have our A1. We do not have An, so we need to solve for An. An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times d. In this case, our n is equal to 10, so A10 is equal to A1, which is 7, plus n, which is 10, minus 1, times d, which is 4. Simplify all of this, you get 7 plus 9 times 4, which is equal to plus 7, 43. This is our A10. Now we can find Sn. Sn is equal to n over 2, 10 over 2, our n is 10. A1 is 7 plus 43. Sn is equal to 5 times 50, which is equal to 250, and we found our Sn. Simple, easy, nothing complicated. Let's move on. In the arithmetic series, the 6th term is 32, and the common difference is 5. Find the first 3 terms of the series. This is a nice question. Let's solve this. So, in the arithmetic series, A6, the sixth term, means A6 is equal to 32. All right, so when n is equal to 6, the answer is 32. And the common difference is 5. Find the first three terms of the series. Now, if you notice here, what is our A1? We don't have an A1. All right, we don't have an A1. We have an AN. So, very easy. We can just find our A1. So we know the equation AN is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times D. In this case, we have AN, we have N, we have D, we don't have A1. So we just solve for A1 and that's it. We're done. So what is AN? AN is 32. This 32 over here is equal to A1, which we are trying to solve, plus N, which is 6, minus 1 times D, which is 5. We simplify this. 32 is equal to A1 plus 5 times 5. So 32 is equal to A1 plus 25. 32 minus 25, we're simply just taking the 25 to the other side, is equal to A1. Therefore, A1 is equal to 7. And we found our A1. Find the first three terms of the series. We found our A1. Now we can find our AN equation using the exact same equation here. AN is equal to A1 plus N minus 1. So what's our A1? 7. We plus N minus 1 times the common difference, which is 5. Yes, 5. AN is equal to 7 plus 5N minus 5. AN is equal to 5N plus 2, and this is our AN equation. We can solve for any term now. So they just wanted the first three terms. So A1 is 7, we know that. A2 is equal to 5 into 2 plus 2, which is equal to 12. And then we have A3, which is equal to 5 into 3 plus 2, which is equal to 15 plus 17. And that's it. Clear? Easy? The sum of the n terms 61 is equal to, okay, let's solve this one as well. The sum of the n terms, what does the sum mean? Sn, right? Okay. Sum of the n terms 61, 65, 69. This is an arithmetic sequence. Let's find out. What is A1? It's equal to 61. What is the common difference? It's equal to 65 minus 61, 4. Let's double check. 69 minus 65, 4. Perfect. Arithmetic sequence. So our D is equal to 4. Sn is given to be equal to 600 because what did they say? The sum of the n terms, which we do not know what n is equal to 600. So Sn is equal to 600. Okay? And they want us to find the value of n. Now, step by step. So we have Sn is equal to, you will always be using these two equations, which is Sn is equal to n over 2a1 plus an. And the second equation is an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. These are the two equations you have to know for the entire chapter, okay, for entire week 12. Now, let's see what we have and what we don't have in the first equation. We have Sn, we don't have n, we have a1, we don't have an. Okay? Let's look at the second equation. We don't have an, we have a1, we don't have n, we have d. If you remember back week 3, was it? Week 4? When we have two equations and two unknowns, we can solve them. Okay? Don't get too confused. First, let's plug in all the values we know in both of these equations. So Sn is equal to 600, n over 2. A1 is equal to 61 plus an. Okay? And we know an is equal to a1. What is a1? 61. Plus n, we don't have, minus 1 times d, which we have, which is 4. Let's simplify the equation on the right a little bit. So this is 61 plus 4n minus 4. An is equal to 4n. 61 minus 4, that's 57. Plus 57. Okay? This is our equation 1. This is our equation 2. By substitution, don't do elimination. By substitution, you will substitute the an over here into an here. So this value basically is going to go inside here. This is how you will solve this equation. So 600 is equal to n over 2 times 61 plus an. What is an? 4n plus 57. Okay? Is this step clear? All I did was substitute equation 2 in equation 1. All right? You can do elimination, but ordering them and all of that is going to take too much time. Always use substitution. In this case, just use substitution. It's much more direct because you already have this in the form where you can substitute it directly. Now, we have now an equation with one unknown. We can solve for n. And now let's start solving. Let's first multiply both sides by 2. The reason I'm doing this is to get rid of the 2 over here to make it simpler. So these 2 will cancel. 2 times 600 is 1200 is equal to n into 61 plus 4n plus 57. Let's distribute. 1200 is equal to 61n plus 4n squared plus 57n. رجعنا للحبايب للquadratic. We have a quadratic equation. How do we solve a quadratic equation? We put everything on one side and equal to 0. So let's take the 1200 to the other side. So 0 is equal to, we're just simply taking this here, 4n squared, let's order it, 4n squared, 61n plus 57n is 118n minus 1200. Use your calculator, mode 5-3. Our A is 4, our B is 118, our C is minus 1200. So 4, 118 minus 1200. You will get two answers. You will get n1 is equal to 8 and n2 is equal to minus 37.5. N cannot be negative. N has to be a number between 1 and infinity. And it's a positive number. It has to be greater than 0 and it is an integer. What does that mean? معناته N has to be 1, 2, 3. N cannot be equal to 1.5. N cannot be equal to negative 5. Okay? This is very important to know. شنو ال 128? Four, 118, 61. It's 118. I don't know what 128 is. Okay. N1 is equal to 8. What was the question asking us for anyways? It's not 67, it's 57. This is 57. 61 plus 57. I'll get خطي تعبان, sorry. This is 57. Okay. What was the question asking for to begin with? So yeah, n cannot be negative, cannot be a decimal. So this is rejected. We don't look at this. This is our final answer. The question was asking for n. Find the value of n. What is the value of n? 8. Yes, this is recorded. Any questions about this specific, the specific solving of this question? It's very easy. This is all concepts you have learned before. Tamam? No questions? Let's move on. Hassan, how to do what in the calculator? Can you be more specific? This substitution method, there's no calculator method for this. Not there's I don't remember if there was, maybe there is. بس أنا if there is, I'm not sure of it. But here it's very simple. The steps here you take are very simple. You will have Sn and you'll have An equation. All you have to do is substitute what An is in equation 1 of Sn, and that's it. Done. Okay? You will simplify this and get a quadratic equation. You will solve for the quadratic equation using your calculator, which is mod 53, which I know you know. And then you will put in your ABC values and you will find your n. N cannot be negative and n cannot be equal to a decimal point or a real number. It has to be an integer. So you will reject the number that is a decimal or is negative, and you will take the real number. Now, final question. The 20th and 30th term, what does that mean? A20 and A30 is equal to, of the arithmetic series, so we know it's arithmetic. We know we can use the arithmetic equations, is 120 and 180 respectively. Again, when they say respectively, all that means is the 20th is the 120 and the 30th is the 180. That's what respectively means. Find the first two terms of the series. What do we need to find? We need to find A1 and A2. How do we do this? We're not given the common difference. We're not given anything. We're just given two random terms within the series. Again, everything you know will always go back to the two equations I said at the beginning. There is no sum here. We're not dealing with sum, so we're not using Sn. We will only use An. All right? So we know that An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times d. What do we have here? We have the An. We do not have A1. We have the n. We do not have the d. But we are given two values for An. We have two locations. So we have to solve it using simultaneous equations. So equation 1, we will substitute n equal 20. So A20 is equal to A1 plus 20 minus 1 times d. If we simplify this, A20 is equal to, what is A20? A20 is 120. This is 120. We already know that this is 120. This is from equation 1. Okay? 120 is equal to A1 plus 20 minus 1. Let's simplify it more. 120 is equal to A1 plus 19D. And that's it. Let's keep it in this form. Okay? Let's just rewrite it so that the 120 is on the other side. So it's A1 plus 19D is equal to 120. And this is our equation 1. Okay? Now let's do it again for n equal 30 because we have the values for n equal 30. So and at n equal 30, A30 is 180 is equal to 180 is equal to A1 plus 30 minus 1 times D. Simplifying this, A180 is equal to A1 plus 29D. In other words, we can say A1 plus 29D is equal to 180. This is equation 2. Let's solve the simultaneous equations. We have two unknowns and two equations. Our first equation was A1 plus 19D is equal to 120. This equation over here. And then we have A1 plus 29D is equal to 180. This is question 2. If you remember substitution, you have to look at the signs of what you want to eliminate. Let's eliminate A1 as it's easier. Since these are both plus and plus, we have to multiply one of them with negative. And since their coefficient is the same, it's fine. So let's multiply the bottom one with negative. So times minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1. Okay, if we rewrite the simultaneous equations, the first one is going to be the exact same thing. A1 minus A1 minus 29D is equal to minus 180. And that's it. And then we can solve. We just add. How do we add? We take the first term, A1, second term, minus A1, third term, plus 19D, fourth term, minus 29D, equal sign, 120 minus 180. All right. A1 and A1 will cancel. You'll be left with 19D minus 29D is equal to 120 minus 180 is minus 60. 90D minus 29D is minus 10D, if I'm not wrong. Yep, minus 10D is equal to minus 60. Divide both sides by minus 10. D is equal to minus 60 over minus 10. Cancel the minuses. 60 over 10 is simply 6. So D is equal to 6. We found D. We can substitute back in any of the equations. So let's substitute back in equation 1. D is equal to 10. A1 plus 19 times 1 times 10, sorry, is equal to 120. A1 is equal to 190. Sorry. A1 plus 190 is equal to 120. And A1 is equal to 120 minus 190, simply taking this to the other side. A1 is equal to 70 minus 70. Minus 70. And we have our A1 and our D. And now we can solve for anything else. So we found out our A1 is minus 70. And our A2 is simply, we could just, the D is, what was our D? It was 10. So minus 70 plus 10. Minus 70 plus 10 is equal to minus 60. And that's it. Those are our first two numbers, if I'm not wrong. حاسس اني مسوي غلطة مكان. Let me just double check my work. No. Oh, D is equal to 6. Yeah, I don't know why I put 10. Thank you so much. حسيت في شيء غلط. All right. Sorry about that. So D is equal to 6. I just copied it wrong up here. Okay. So D is equal to 6. 19 times 6. A1 plus 19 times 6 is 114. Yeah, this makes so much more sense now. 120. A1 is equal to, we just take this to the other side. It's 120 minus 114. A1 is equal to 6. That's it. Now that we have A1 is equal to 6 and D is equal to 6, A2 is equal to 6 plus 6, which is equal to 12. Thank you for that, Abdullah. Again, you can do all of this using a calculator. Obviously, you can, but I do not like, and personally, I don't use the calculator to solve anything. I just, because I understand how to do the math, I do it. I was not taught to use the calculator to do most of these things. Yani, most of the things on the calculator, I'm learning with you guys actually, how to use the calculator more. Obviously, it's a strong tool. It's a great tool. If you know how to use anything in the calculator, use it in the calculator. But just in case you can't, you have to understand the math that is happening يعني in front of you. عشان إذا ما عندكم time يعني or your calculator isn't working or whatever is happening, you know how to solve the example just in case. But I would 100% recommend you use the calculator for any solution, any technique you have. Unfortunately, I don't know many ways of using the calculator. I don't have that many techniques. But if you have your own techniques and you're sure it's correct, sure, go for it. You can use the calculator for doing the algebra as long as you understand the concepts. And we're done. We could solve some of these if you want. Let's do just one complicated looking one, even though it's not complicated. Again, these you could just plug into your calculator directly and you will find the answer, but I want to do at least one of them manually so you understand what's going on. Okay? Now you understood what the summation is. Obviously, I remember when I told you the summation is you have a start and a beginning. Sometimes they write it on the side here. It's the same thing. Okay. The bottom one is always the start, so n is 11, and the top one is the finish, which is 30, and in this case we have n. All right, let's just look at this part first, then we will go to the remaining part. All right, so always solve it separately, okay, so you don't get too confused. Very easy, very straightforward. What is this? Starting from 11 all the way to 30. So 11 plus 12 plus all the way to 30. All right, that's what this means. Now, we found our first answer. Again, you can put it just in the calculator to find it. Straightforward. I honestly don't understand what the point of this question even is. You can find the second one. It's 10. And from n equals to 1. n, it's equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to 10 in this case. All the way to 10. You find the number here. Let's say this is A and this is B. At the very end, you're just going to do A minus B. All right? A minus B. On the calculator, to do this, you're going to hit the log button, or you're going to do shift. And the log button, not the normal log, the log with like this log, okay? You're going to have a button like this. It's under the on button. So this is your on. This is on. Okay, you're going to have a button here called log. And there's going to be a filled square over here. And then a square like this. This log button, you're going to do shift and click that button to get the sigma notation. Okay, so shift, you're going to click that button. Then you just put in your values. So x is, in this case, is 11. 11 for the beginning, the end is 30. And then the equation, you're just going to put x. Okay? For the equation, you're just going to put x. Alpha x. This is equal to 410. 410. Going to do the exact same thing again, but from 1 to 10. It's going to give you 55. So it's 410 minus 55, and that's your final answer, which is 355. It's very easy. The concept, I'm pretty sure you all already understood it. You know how to use it in the calculator as well now, and that's it. And I think this is it. I covered, I think, all the topics. Most of the remaining questions I checked from the teachers and all of that, they're all the same. They're all very similar. If anyone has any questions, you can let me know now. Inshallah, for the video, I'm gonna